Hey guys, and welcome back to another history lesson. My name is Mike, and if you're new here, we just like to cover everything historical. Now we're going to continue on with American history. This is part 2 out of 2. If you haven't seen part 1, I suggest you go watch that. Now, I did add one thing before our timeline, so it's continuing, and then we'll get back to the treaty again, but we already did that. So again, please go check out part 1, and make sure to like and subscribe if you do enjoy this. Now, the Battle of the Thames, also known as the Battle of Morventown, was an American victory in the War of 1812 against the Tecumseh Confederacy and their British allies. It took place on October 5th, 1813 in Upper Canada near Chatham. The Battle of New Orleans was fought on January 8th, 1815 between the British Army under Major General Sir Edward Pakenham and the United States Army under Brevet Major General Andrew Jackson, roughly 5 miles southeast of the French quarter of the New Orleans in the current suburb of Chalmette, Louisiana. The Seminole Wars were the three related military conflicts in Florida between the United States Army and the Seminole, a Native American group which had Cole succeed, I know I pronounced that totally wrong, in Spanish Florida during the early 1700s. The fighting occurred between about 1816 and 1858, with 2 periods of uneasy truce between active conflict. The Mexican-American War, also known in the United States as the Mexican War, and in Mexico as the Intervención Estadounidense and Mexico, was an armed conflict between the United States and Mexico from 1846 to 1848. If you do want the full coverage of that, so far we've fully covered the Mexican War, the Revolutionary War, and the Civil War, so make sure to go check out those videos. The Battle of Fort Sumter, April 12th through 13th, 1861, was the bombardment of Fort Sumter near Charleston, South Carolina by the South Carolina militia. The Confederate Army did not yet exist, and the return gunfire and the subsequent surrender by the United States Army that started the American Civil War. The First Battle of Bull Run, also known as the Battle of First Manassas, was the first major battle of the American Civil War. The battle was fought on July 21st, 1861 in Prince William County, Virginia, just north of the city of Manassas and about 30 miles west-southwest of Washington, D.C. Army of Potomac was the principal Union army in the Eastern Theater of the American Civil War. It was created in July 1861, shortly after the First Battle of Bull Run, and it was disbanded in June 1865, following the surrender of the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia in April. The Spanish-American War was an armed conflict between Spain and the United States in 1898. Hostilities began in the aftermath of the internal explosion of the USS Maine in Havana Harbor in Cuba, leading to U.S. intervention in the Cuban War of Independence. The Battle of San Juan Hill, also known as the Battle for the San Juan Heights, was a major battle of the Spanish-American War fought between an American force under the command of William Rufus Shafter and Joseph Wheeler against a Spanish force led by Ernesto Lleras y Pombo. The Treaty of Paris in 1898 was a treaty signed by Spain and the United States on December 10, 1898, that ended the Spanish-American War. Under it, Spain relinquished all claim of sovereignty over and title to Cuba and also seceded Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines to the United States. The Philippine-American War, also referred to as the Filipino-American War, the Philippine War, and previously referred to as the Philippine Insurrection or the Tagalog Insurgency, was an armed conflict between the First Philippine Republic and the United States that lasted from February 4th, 1899 to July 2nd, 1902. And that is it. So if y'all did enjoy this, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you next one. Peace on out.